Our enterprises involve basically a self-replacing commercial flock of merino ewes. As mentioned before, we use the SRS breeding system developed by Dr. Jim Watts. With that, I run 600 stud merino ewes, which we use to breed rams and to sell rams. We had our ram sale on Friday, which went very well, so that was good. So I've had a busy couple of days, really. And we now trade cattle, which we use to utilise feed when we've got feed. When we've got more feed than we need, we trade cattle. If we can't find the trades that we need, the that we can see in a trade, then we'll adjust cattle or do something like that. And we use them as our relief valve. There's a quick map of the of Glenwood with the paddocks, and you can see from the different colours, it's divided up into 3 cells. The blue area is where I run the commercial flocks, which is about 3,500 ewes plus cattle that we run in about 30 paddocks. The yellow is where I run the stud ewes and cattle, and the red is where I run the young sheep from weaners through to hoggets. Graham mentioned it before in his talk, but our philosophy with holistic management is to match the carrying capacity to our stocking rate, so that if we're not getting the rainfall, we're able to destock quickly and maintain our ground cover over our country. One of our aims is to maintain 100% ground cover. And we use animal impact along with short graze periods and long rest periods to try and promote perenniality and diversity in our land. So just quickly on the grazing management side of it, we're working on 120-day rest. We monitor growth, so the speed of the growth or the slowness of the growth, and then we use grazing charts to manage that whole grazing system. So grazing charts are a very important part of the system so that we can monitor, as Mark mentioned before, it's the short pencil, it's how we monitor what's going on the land. As just a quick picture, I took that yesterday morning just to show you, obviously with the system that we're using we need to have subdivision, and we've carried out a fair bit of subdivision on Glenwood over the last 5 or 6 years to get the number of paddocks that we believe that we need, and my aim is to get to 40 paddocks for each cell. We use basically a 2 or a 3 wire electric fence, and on the right there you can see that the animals have just come out of the paddock on the right and they've just moved into the paddock on the left. Another photo showing quickly just how we've got, as Graham mentioned before, the animals getting that dry matter and green matter down onto the ground. Cell 1, as I mentioned before, is our flock ewes, and basically we're running that over 30 paddocks. It's our biggest cell. It's also got the biggest paddock. Some of the paddocks for us are up to 150 hectares, which is still not small enough for us, I don't think, to get the impact we need. 3,500 ewes in that photo there that we run together basically 12 months of the year except when we're lambing right through to weaning. The second cell is the studs, and it's 600 stud ewes, as I mentioned. The paddocks are a bit smaller with the studs. It's our choice and a part of our vision that we run a stud flock, so it's the compromise we make as far as stock density, I suppose. But we manage them in a way that we're still getting the 120-day rest. We don't get the impact that we would, but we use cattle along with the same flock to get that density. And cell 3 is where I run the weaners, and I also run young cattle in that same situation. And it's probably the better country on Glenwood. It's where it is cultivationable, and it's had Phalaris cocksfoot loose and so on through it over the years. And where it's the most productive country, it's where we can fatten stock and grow out our weaners.